Well, hello, Cumming Community Church. Pastor Thomas here. Hope you are having a fantastic week going so far. Happy Wednesday. Don't forget to join us Sunday and join us as we send me off on my short-term trip where I'll be heading over to work at a couple of pastors' conferences in developing country, helping pastors learn how to study the Word to grow in it. We know how important God's Word is. So I appreciate your prayers as I continue to prepare to go. And you'll see me dressed the same the next couple of weeks because I'm recording these ahead of time. You'll get a new shirt on me later in the month of October when I get back. So I am going to change my shirt every day, though. Don't worry. It'll be okay. So we've been talking through Ephesians, and we've been talking in our midweek devotional time, and we've been talking about this idea of the armor of God, because Paul says multiple times in Ephesians chapter 6 that we are to take up the whole armor of God. And I kind of wondered, what does that mean? What do we lose as Christians when we don't take up the whole armor of God? And so we've talked about the belt of truth and the breastplate of righteousness. And this week we're going to continue just down the list. And he says in verse 15, and as shoes for your feet, having put on the readiness given by the gospel of peace. So what does the gospel of peace do for us? And why did he equate it to shoes? Well, the gospel of peace means that because Jesus Christ came to this earth and he lived and then was crucified and then buried and rose again, that is the atoning sacrifice for the Christian, and why we can now stand confidently before God saying, it's not based on my righteousness, but the fact that Jesus died. Is the song we sing, the modern hymn by Cydia Light, yet not I, but through Christ in me. I can stand before God confident because of Christ who lives now in me because of what he has done, that I accept this gift on faith. But the problem is that when we have peace with God and we join his team, suddenly now we are now enemies with the world and all the forces of the world. And so that means that we have to be ready for that battle. And we have to be ready to stand firm. And that's where the shoes come in. You see, the Roman soldiers would wear shoes quite often that had little nails at the bottom. Kind of think like cleats in a football player. And so that would allow them then to plant their feet and to stand firm, especially when we consider that they would also have their shield that they would raise and kind of plant down and hunker behind and form kind of a temporary wall. And these shoes would allow them to stand firm in this. So when we put on the armor of God and we have the gospel in our lives and we've trusted in Jesus Christ and we are at peace with God, it prepares us to stand firm when the world then comes after us. Not just for what we believe, but when the world comes after us because we are Christians and the enemy of God comes after us and is, again, Ephesians is a spiritual warfare book, and the enemies of God come after you to assault you in various different ways. You can stand firm because you are at peace with God. When the enemy makes an accusation, you can say, that's probably true. I probably did do that, but Jesus died for that sin too. I trust him and I know he's good. I can lean on him. So that's why we have to trust. And so we put on the gospel. We put on the gospel for our shoes to remind us that we have peace with God and we can stand firm when the enemy comes to attack. Well, I hope you're having a great week. We'll see you Sunday before I head off halfway around the world. And until then, we'll hope you have a great week, everybody. God bless.